I just want to share some things with you that are in my gardening toolkit. I thought of this because just yesterday I went to a friend's house who needed some help with her garden. She needed help transferring plants from smaller pots to bigger pots and things of that nature. So I asked her, well, where's your this or where's your that? And she didn't have any of these things. So I thought it'd be a great idea to share with you things that I use on a daily basis that might be helpful to you. Now, my tools that I use are not may not work for you, and they're certainly not all inclusive of things that you'll need in your garden. But these are just a few things that I use and need on a daily basis. The first thing that I use all the time are gloves. One, this helps kind of protect your hands from all the dirt and grime and all that kind of stuff and when digging. And so I use several pair of these. I'm always hammering in stakes and things like that, so you don't want to get splinters. It just protects your hands. I would probably recommend 4 to 5 pair. If you're like me, I misplace things. I'm not the most organized, so I have several pairs laying around in different places. One particular thing that I use that is very helpful to me are my gardening sleeves. I use these particularly when I'm going to be reaching into some place that has a lot of leafiness there or in a thick bush, because I don't like bugs and spiders to touch my skin. That will freak me out. So I found these gardening sleeves, and they reach all the way up to my elbow. Um, and I'll tell you, I was just using gloves at one point in time, and I went to pick some fresh uh, cherry tomatoes from the tomato plant, and there was this nice little spider stuck in there. And I was like, oh, never again will I do that without gardening sleeves. One of the other things that I use all the time, my gardening trowel. If you're using raised beds or container garden, this is particularly important. I have other stuff that I use as I'm gardening, but this is one of the things that I use all the time. I can lift plants, transplant them pretty easily. This allows you to get underneath the plant and get all of the root system up and transfer it to another place. So that's something that I use all the time. Another thing that I use, reach out, here's my little gardening pouch. This little pouch I can put all of my tools in. I could tie it around my waist, and I'll be honest with you, I don't use this as much as I used to because I have a nifty little gardening bench that I sit on as I do my container gardening. And I put my phone in there, I put my trowel, I put my snippers and things like that in there that I'll need, so I don't have to go back and reach it or drop it on the ground or leave it in the dirt. I keep it in my little pouch. These are my little garden snippers that I use. I prune things with this too. Some people use pruning shears. I just use this for everything. I cut my leafy greens and harvest things with these. Again, I prune my squash plants, things like that. So some people have different things for different things that they use. I just kind of use this for everything. It works for me. One of the other things that I use quite a bit is gardening tape, and I use this jute cord. So mainly I use this if I want to kind of stabilize something. I have a gardening stake and I want to tie a limb or a branch of something to stabilize it. I'll use this tape, and I'll use this cord. I just kind of use what's on hand because if it's easy, or if I already have something, I'll use it. In fact, I had a piece of string that you have a I don't know, a jersey or something that has a string that comes out and you can't figure out how to get it back in. I had something like that, and I use that to tie some things together. Some people want their garden all neat and pretty. I don't really care about that. It's utility for me. So I use the string that I found off of a piece of clothing. Another thing you will use are spray bottles. Of course, you can buy these. These are only $1, $2, pretty inexpensive. I reuse things like this. I can put my homemade pesticide deterrent in this, and that works for me. Another thing I use all the time, and I recommend if you have flowers in your garden, get some inexpensive little flower vases and This right here is just, it makes my day because I can go outside and cut fresh flowers, and I can put these around the house and on my desk and things like that. So why have a garden that includes flowers if you can't have cut flowers every day? And the last thing, and I've talked about this in a previous video, is a colander. I use this all the time, particularly when cutting my herbs, things like that, leafy greens. A lot of times I will wash or just rinse my harvest off in there really quickly before I bring it in the house to get rid of some of that initial dirt, debris, things like that. So it's not in my sink when I wash the vegetables that I just harvested. So I use this a lot for that. So those are just a few of the things that I use in my gardening toolkit. I'm sure there are so many more things I could include. And if there are some particular things that you use in your toolkit, please drop it in the comments.